Health says data show more than 20 bans are outstanding in submitting reports to the SMC. In 2016, close to $100,000 was paid to fancy and traditional bands, but only 3 bands submitted reports for the period. They are RKD and Associates, Peter Bain and Associates, and the traditional band Demon Angel. In discussing the issue, the SMC's head addressed a major flaw which existed in the previous system.
In the past, subvention would have, for example, for mass, we would have received a list of the mass bands and the amount recommended by the Grenada Mass Band Association for the paying of subvention. That list would come, so for example, the mass band would say, give the Voice Masquerade Band $1,000 subvention. What I have noticed, and I've noticed since I've been here, and when I walked into 2016, I noticed that there were bands in 2015 that would have received subvention and would not have put anything out on the road. I also noticed the same thing in 2016. It is very important for me to understand that this is a statutory body and I am accountable to the Ministry of Finance and the Government of Grenada. And sometimes we hear the mass bands making all sorts of noise outside there, but there are critical issues that we have to deal with. And as far as I'm concerned, that is theft.
He says, however, this year, there will be a new structure for mass bands whereby they would not have to apply to the Spicemas Corporation.
There is going to be a criteria. How long have you been in operation? What are your numbers? How much external sponsorship do you get? And of course, they are going to have to sign a contract binding them to show proof of how the expenditure has happened. It is customary that after Carnival, bands are supposed to send in a report of how they would have spent their subvention. To date, I have received only 3 reports, and I am happy to name them. I would have received a report from Ricardo Keynes Douglas. I would have received from Mr. Bain up in Grenville, and I would have also received from Latoya out of Gove. I want to let all mass bands know that in order to receive subvention for 2017, you would have to submit your reports for 2016.
Health says it would not be business as usual, as it is the state's resources involved, for which he stands accountable for in its efficient management. Additionally, he says the whole issue of subvention is also being reviewed to the extent where future consideration should be made as to whether or not the subvention should only be given to the needy. Janelle MacDonald, GBN News.